Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Helium 10 Weekly Buzz. My name is Bradley Sutton, and this is the show where we get you familiar with the latest news in the Amazon and e-commerce space. We interview people in the industry you need to hear from and provide training tips of the week that give you serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Let's see what's buzzing this week. We've got, again, another jam-packed episode, including some hot off the presses announcements from the recent Amazon Accelerate conference that they're doing. They're announcing some stuff that nobody would have expected they would do, but that's what Amazon's been doing lately. So hats off to them. We've got some other news, about Amazon Japan, something new for headline suggestions for sponsored display ads. We've got a training tip of the week about how to use the Alibaba tools, our Alibaba.com tools that Helium 10 has. We've got another interview of the week, and we even have some PPC strategy that Vince is going to help us out on. So let's go ahead and hop right into the news. The first news article of the day is actually from an article from Search Engine Land, and it's about TikTok. All right. Now, this is kind of interesting. The title of this was E-commerce brands spent 60% more on TikTok ads in Q2, 60% more. And some online retailers, it says here, may soon see TikTok surpassing Facebook and Google as the most lucrative advertising channel. That would have been unheard of if you would have said that months ago, let alone like a year ago. It said overall ad spend on the platform across the 5,000 online retailers rose by 11% in Q2 to a total of, get this, $500 million with a B, $500 million, guys. This is pretty crazy about how much they are increasing this. Retailers who have revenues of between 1 and 5 million are contributing to the biggest increases in ad spend. So you 7-figure sellers out there are the ones spending a lot on it. In the first 2 quarters of this year, retailers spent a total of $50 million on TikTok ads, which was a 231% increase over the previous 6 months. So what about you guys out there? Are you using TikTok advertising? Are you still stuck just doing Google and Facebook? You got to keep, this is a fast changing space, guys. So you got to keep up with the times. If you're a 7-figure seller, you should add, and you're not doing TikTok ads, you might be need to ask yourself, what's holding you back? All right, the next article that we're going to talk about is actually directly from Seller Central. This is a pretty quick one. It's about an A/B testing update. Now, this is something that you guys have been using maybe for a while, the manage your experiments that brand registered sellers can use. And this is an A/B split testing tool that Amazon has. And they launched, according to Amazon News, 2 new features. All right. So you are going to be able to auto publish the winning content if you want. So let's say you're split testing a title or an image, and then you can just set it where hey, whichever one wins, that's the one to go ahead and make live on my listing. So make sure to check your Amazon news feed in order to see the other things that are available for Manage Your Experience. You guys use Manage Your Experience? Let me know in the comments below how that's worked out for you. All right, next article is from Axios.com. I found this interesting because there's a lot of buzz out there saying, hey, e-commerce and just retail, overall is really down. But here's a kind of a conflicting article on this. A forecast put out by some bank says that they're forecasting 13.5% increase in holiday e-commerce this year. All right. So this was economists from some bank out there, thought or thinks that it's going to go up to $262 billion, an even bigger increase than the increase last year. So at the end of the day, guys, who really knows how Q4, the holiday season, is going to be for Amazon sellers and other entrepreneurs. We're not sure, but it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, there's some doom and gloom articles out there, but on the flip side, there's some people who do this for a living who are saying, hey, we're looking at numbers and we think it's actually going to go up. Regardless of if it's going to go up or not, make sure that your Q4 game is strong. You guys are ready for the big holiday pushes. You've got enough inventory in. You got your advertising strategy ready. whether it goes up or down, you got to make sure that you are ready for Q4. The next article is going back to Amazon now, and this is about sponsored display. Now, this is something that just got released yesterday by Amazon. It's called Headline Suggestions for Sponsored Display, now available in the Amazon Ads console. So you guys know how when you do sponsored ads or sponsored display ads, you can put a headline, kind of like a little text description or some sales copy, right? But what happens is sometimes you get denied, all right, because Amazon just doesn't like some of the language in there. So for those who get denied, now Amazon is going to give you suggestions, and that's pretty much probably going to be auto accepted. Amazon's not going to deny their own suggestion. But the problem is it's not that necessarily compelling. Like the examples they give here are just some simple things. So if you're really good at making copy and Amazon doesn't censor your headline, your sponsored display headline copy, well, keep doing what you're doing. But if you constantly see that you're getting rejected and you just like really want to get a sponsored display campaign approved fast, try using this brand new thing that Amazon just released so that you can use one of their pre-selected and pre-approved headlines for sponsored display ads. Let's talk about now Japan. Are you guys selling in Japan? The biggest marketplace is actually not Amazon there. It's Rakuten and others. However, this article here from Charged Retail is saying how the Japan e-commerce market is expected to grow by 7% in 2022. That's a pretty big increase. It says here that as far as e-commerce globally, Japan, not necessarily Amazon Japan, but just Japan overall in e-commerce is number 4 in the whole world. Number 1 is China, US is number 2, and number 3 is the UK. So this is, a marketplace that you shouldn't be sleeping on. A lot of people are into e-commerce in Japan. This article talks about some of those numbers, and Amazon Japan is a logical place to be able to sell if you don't have boots in the ground on the ground in Japan. It's easier to go ahead and start with Amazon. So use Helium 10's tools. Helium 10 tool suite works for Amazon Japan. Zerrudo, Magnet, Blackbox, tools like that. So if you have not yet launched in Amazon Japan, start thinking about it. Once you conquer that, maybe have some kind of local facilities. Maybe you can start moving to the Rakuten or other marketplaces that are in Japan. Lastly, we have hot off the presses a news release from Amazon. They have the Accelerate conference today, and one of their biggest updates, they already put out a press release on this on Business Wire, and that's where this article comes from. It says Amazon launches free email marketing capabilities for sellers to reach their repeat, recent, and high spend customers. So Amazon had something called, or still has something called Amazon Customer Engagement. Now, before, you could only kind of market to people who had signed up and followed your brand. All right, like if you're doing Amazon posts, there's a button where it says follow. And, most sellers didn't have much success. The ones that I talked to, really getting a lot of engagement. And it's actually interesting because the tool is called engagement. But now this is like game changing for me, because as we know, Amazon has never really liked you to communicate with your customers. These aren't your customers. They're Amazon's customers. And, you can send them one request for a review, but that's about it, right? And you don't know who your customers are. But what they're saying is, or what they announced today, is you're going to be able to start contacting your customers that are like repeat customers, some of your recent ones, and your high spending ones, in a new tool called Tailored Audiences. And some of this is going to be available in early 2023. Now, you might be like, oh man, that's kind of a buzzkill. It takes a long time. But guys, this is huge. This is huge. This is a big shift from anything that Amazon has, kind of done in its past, where they really don't want you at all to contact customers. And they even took away ways to contact customers, left and right, taking away customer information. But the ability to within Amazon terms of service, now be able to send messages to your customers on Amazon, that is going to be interesting to follow, to see how that works out. All right, that's it for the news this week. All right, let's keep it going with our next clip, and this is going to be from Vince Montero. Vince, go ahead and take it away.
As the brand evangelist here at Helium 10 for all things PPC, I recently launched a new training course called Amazon PPC Academy. Now, this 30 plus video course features myself as well as Mina Elias of Trivium Group, and it's really for anybody looking to expand their overall PPC knowledge. One question I get a lot is about product targeting campaigns and best practices in setting them up. Now, we cover this in the course, but I wanted to share with you guys some ASIN-based research that you can do right within Amazon itself. We're going to go ahead and reload X-Ray for this same search of crutches. Now, what you want to do when you're looking for ASINs is make sure that you're only going to be showing on product pages or detail pages of competitors where you have some kind of competitive advantage. So in order to do that, we're going to just filter the results. So if you know that, for example, you only have 4 stars, then you'd want to make sure that the maximum that you want to be seen on is 3 stars. So in this particular product, we have 5 stars for the one that I'm looking to potentially sell. So the max that I want to be seen on for other product detail pages is 4-star pages. You can also use the retail price amount if you want. If you want to be seen just on product pages where your product is less expensive, you could enter that here. Or maybe you want to use review counts. So for this example, I know that this particular product has very, very high reviews. So instead, I'm just going to say I want the max price to be $100. So if I filter these results, then the ASINs that are going to be left on this page, which you can see are only 10, are effectively the 10 that are around or over $100, which is competitive because this product is $149 or $159, and it has at least 4 stars or below. Now, if this is too refined for you, you could always clear out the filters and then download a CSV and get all the results that are here, and then just go through and make sure that you're drilling it down however way you want. Now, one benefit of using it in the CSV version is that you can actually drill down to the FBA or FBM and decide if you really only want to target particular products that are being sold by FBA or FBM. So you could also filter that here as well, maybe just sort by this at the top. So you really wouldn't want to select products that are AMZ because those are obviously ones that are bought and sold or sold by Amazon or Amazon products. But all these ones that are potentially FBM might be something, or manufacturer, sold by manufacturer, these might be good ones to target. So not something that you can use the filters for, but you can go ahead and download the CSV and search for this data that way. Another good area or way to look at different ASINs is actually on the listings themselves. So if we click on a particular product, let's go ahead and click on an organic listing here. So you can really leverage the ads that you see potentially here for ideas of other products to target. So typically you'll see frequently bought together in almost every single detail page. So all of these are ASINs that you could also use. So if you have that list of ASINs that you did in the first one, you could literally go on each one of these pages, look at the other ASINs that are being offered here, and these might be other ones that you can target. So this is also another way to find complementary products for your ASIN targeting. So beyond frequently bought together, which you manually have to just look through and find those ASINs, you might see a common theme. So let's just scroll through these products related to this item to see if we see any kind of common theme. So I'm not seeing anything in particular. Maybe a boot, a walking boot might be something that should be targeted. Looks like this cast cover, which is also here. That might be something that you'd want to check out. If you want to watch the rest of that clip, including how to find some low-hanging fruit in the search results in Amazon, make sure you watch Amazon PPC Academy, Chapter 2, under the Product Targeting Campaigns. Now, this course is free until the end of September, so make sure to check it out.
All right, guys, so if you haven't added it yet, make sure to go ahead and add it now. That new PPC Academy that Vince had that clip from, 30 modules, guys, over 30 modules of training for PPC. You can go to helium10.com/PPC Academy to sign up for that. Now, I want to give you guys a training tip of the week, reminding you about the supplier finder for Alibaba.com that actually works on Amazon when you're using the Helium 10 Chrome extension. So for example, I'm here on Amazon.com and I search for coffin shelf. I pulled up X-ray, and then you see this button on the top here where it says find suppliers on Alibaba. Well, if I click that, instantly what's going to come up here is a basic search on Alibaba.com if I had searched that same keyword that I searched on Amazon. All right. So since I typed in coffin shelf on Amazon, that is now pulling up here in the supplier finder inside of Helium 10, and I'm still on Amazon, and I could just go ahead and see all of these coffin shelves, and I could just see there's a couple people here who have copied our pictures, but there's 800 different suppliers that came up with just a click of the button. I could use these advanced filters to say, hey, I only want to see verified suppliers or people who have been selling on Alibaba for at least 5 years, and now I can just start narrowing down the list of products that come up here. For coffin shelves. Now, let's just say I want to go ahead and go with one of these. Like, let's go ahead and pick these guys right here. I can actually go to Alibaba.com. And now one other thing that I think a lot of people don't use enough is this super cool feature that's on the flip side. When you're on Alibaba.com, sometimes it's cool to actually try and use this in order to do product research. So I clicked from Amazon and then using Helium 10's Alibaba supplier finder, and I got to Alibaba.com. But now maybe I'm interested in, like, you know what, this is an interesting product. Let me see what else this company has. So I click on their storefront here in Alibaba.com, and then I maybe just, start looking at their products. I'm like, you know what, I want to look at what is this wood calendar? Like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that. And then so I look here and I see some, a bunch of random wooden products, wooden birdhouses, and I'm just wondering, like, is this a thing on Alibaba, like wooden birdhouses? So I'll go back up to Alibaba.com and let me just search up here, wooden bird or wooden birdhouse, right? So I'm just here, I'm going down these rabbit trails on Alibaba.com, and I see a lot of interesting things that come up here. All right. If I'm wondering, hey, is there demand on Amazon for this? Well, again, we've got a tool for that right here on Alibaba.com. I hit the Helium 10 Chrome extension, and then I'm going to hit Analyze Product Demand. This is called Demand Analyzer. And once I hit that, it brings up this new window, and now I can just see what is the demand for this thing that I searched on Alibaba.com on Amazon. And I can see wooden birdhouse is not that highly searched, but I'm not even going to Helium 10. I'm not even having to go back to Amazon. I'm still on Alibaba.com, and I can see what the Amazon search volume is. What are some other related keywords? Like, here's some keywords that have higher search volume, like wooden birdhouses to paint. I can see what are the top products on Amazon for this keyword, and what are some of the keywords that show up as well for this in Helium 10 Magnet. So again, guys, Alibaba.com is a great place where thousands and thousands of Amazon sellers are going to in order to find suppliers or at least do research. But don't forget, utilize the supplier finder and X-ray to get instant ideas into what kind of suppliers and what kind of prices you can find. And then if you're on Alibaba.com, I guarantee there's rabbit trails that you can go down, finding some really unique products. And then without even having to go into Helium 10, right there on Alibaba.com, use our demand analyzer tool in order to see what kind of demand is on Amazon for whatever you're finding on Alibaba.com. All right, we have a couple of other announcements, but before we get into that, let's go ahead into our interview of the week. And Shivali is going to interview a professional out there that talks about NetSuite, something that I have not even thought about using, but maybe after hearing this might be something that you might be interested in. Shivali, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Weekly Buzz. My name is Shivali Patel, and I'm here today with Martin Zerrudo. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Nice to meet you, Shivali.
Let's go ahead and kind of dive into you and like what you do. I know people want to hear about it. So tell me a little bit about Seller Universe Agency.
So thank you so much for having me here, Shivali. So my name is Martin Zerrudo. I'm the CEO of Seller University Commerce Group. I'm based here in Toronto, Canada, but we're actually all over the world. We have some people in California, some people in Europe, some people in Asia. And what Seller Universe really does is we provide services in three main verticals. So that's NetSuite, Amazon, and Shopify. And for those who will be attending S3, Sales Scale Summit, there's going to be a lot of sellers there that range in a lot of different, services and products and needs. So for us, the clients that we service are those who maybe are introducing a product for the first time on their Shopify.com or their Amazon, those who might need some ad campaign support or help to really grow their brands online through PPC or DSP. And then when we're talking about 7, 8, 9-figure annual revenue for some of these online brands, then we start talking about NetSuite ERP implementation and integration of the different multi-channel marketplaces.
Okay, could you tell me a little bit more about NetSuite?
So when it comes to NetSuite, it's an ERP, enterprise resource planning tool run by Oracle. And why would you need something like NetSuite for your company? So in your business, you may have a lot of different departments. Your accounting department, your HR department, if you're selling a product, inventory, warehousing, your HR, your customers, your clients. So in a business, you're going to have a lot of different tools that might be able to provide some help in those departments. So for example, QuickBooks for your accounting, maybe Bamboo or Humi for your HR. What NetSuite allows you to do is use a lot of different NetSuite modules to connect all of your business operations onto one cloud ERP. And it's great because you can access it on your phone, on your tablet. You don't have to install any kind of particular software on your computer. But as it relates to NetSuite, for what we do for our brands, we really focus and specialize on NetSuite e-commerce. So what does NetSuite e-commerce mean? Well, NetSuite can be implemented in a lot of different industries, but we focus primarily and specialize on NetSuite e-commerce. So that means if you need NetSuite, for example, we have some aggregators that we provide NetSuite services to. If you want to implement NetSuite to connect all the different brands on all the different marketplaces, we have the know-how and the skill set to do that. We're actually doing that right now for 2 different aggregators at the moment. If you want to understand how to best connect these different marketplaces, you might want to go to something like Celigo, which is a very, very popular connector for your NetSuite. Do you have staff or some specialty in how to connect and utilize Celigo to its best efficiencies, right? If you need some demand planning, so I need to know where my inventory is, how much do I have in the warehouse? So Fleabur is a fantastic app for that. We have expertise in being able to integrate Fleabur into your NetSuite. So for e-commerce, as it relates to selling products online, whether you're on Amazon or Shopify or Walmart, NetSuite connects all of that. And our e-commerce specialty allows us to find the right connectors and apps to make your NetSuite function as efficiently and effectively as possible.
Okay. Let's say that somebody who's coming to Sell and Scale wants to talk to you about what you just talked about. How would they get in touch with you? Where will we be?
So we're going to have a booth. I believe it's like 337 or something like that. It's just a little bit off the center. You're going to see a big giant red backdrop that says Oracle NetSuite official partner. We're giving away, chocolate bars and power bars and t-shirts and jackets, and we're going to give a lot of swag. But at the end of the day, if you're coming there for some advice and for help as it relates to either NetSuite, Amazon, or Shopify, please stop by and ask us your questions. If you're a seller that's starting off, then the conversation will likely be, if you already have your .com, how do I launch my product onto Amazon? It's a very, very dense conversation about how to structurally and effectively launch your product on Amazon where you're not wasting time and money. Say you're a seller at S3 and you've already launched on Amazon and you want to know, how can I grow my sales? Am I doing something wrong when it comes to my listings? Am I not optimizing the listings correctly? Am I not managing my ads correctly? Am I leveraging the wrong keywords? So that would be a conversation we would have as it relates to growing your Amazon brand. Now, if you're a seller that already has a significant presence on a bunch of different channels and you're looking to maybe implement NetSuite into your business, like the aggregators, like I mentioned earlier, then we can have a conversation about how do we connect all your different marketplaces and departments onto NetSuite as it relates to your e-commerce business. So those are 3 main scenarios and situations that these sellers might find themselves in that we can totally have a conversation and provide some help for at the summit.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been really enlightening, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person at Sell and Scale.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Shivali.
Thank you, Martin. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Shivali, for that interview. All right, guys, a couple of things before we get going. This is our probably last broadcast before next week, which is the Sell and Scale Summit. So if you guys have not yet gotten your tickets yet, there's still tickets available. You can go to h10.me/S3, h10.me/S3. Use code S3BS100 to save $100 off. And then make sure to, if you're already going to Sell and Scale, make sure to sign up for my 2 sessions. So the first one is a Zumba fitness dance session that we're going to be doing in the morning. And then the other one is I'm going to be talking all about the Maldives honeymoon launch strategy, and also a way to help your mindset as an e-commerce entrepreneur. So if you've downloaded the app that is for the event, make sure to add those to your agenda. Live from the floor next week, we are going to have our Bigger, Better Launch. That's our monthly feature that we do where we talk about all the latest things that we have launched at Helium 10. And next week, we have some announcements, guys. So if you're going to be at Sell and Scale Summit, you can go and watch that live on the actual show floor, but we're still going to be broadcasting that live to everybody else via Zoom. So if you want to join that, go to helium10.com/launch, and you'll be able to register to watch BBL, Bigger, Better Launch next week as it's live. It's going to be like, I wish I could even tease you guys on some of the things that we're launching next week, but I can't because I don't want to spoil it, even if there's no spoiler alerts here. All right. So guys, make sure you're there in person or you have registered helium10.com/launch to watch it live. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week to see what's buzzing.